Hey everyone, Ryan here at Etrailer. Today on our 2024 Ford F-350, we're going to be showing you how to install the Curt in-bed wiring kit. Before we do that though, let's take a minute, we'll check this out and make sure it's going to work for you. This is going to be a good option for those of you that plan on pulling a fifth wheel or gooseneck trailer around and your truck didn't come equipped, from the factory with the in-bed wiring. So it's going to give you that 7-way attachment that you need. That way when you do have that type of trailer, you can simply take the wiring end, plug it in here, and not have to worry about draping it over the tailgate and it coming undone and things like that. One of the nice things with this kit though, they give you little rubber inserts that you put in where you run your screws through to actually attach it to the truck side of the truck bed. And that's because with these Fords, beds are aluminum, and so you just don't want to run screws through there. You can end up causing corrosion and things like that. So by having them inserts, something you're not going to really have to worry about. And with this too, it uses a T-connector, meaning that the end of our harness will plug into the 7-way that's on our bumper. And so not only will you have your in-bed wiring up here that you can use, the one on the bumper will still be completely functional as well. So if you end up pulling a smaller trailer or something like that, you're able to plug right in there and not lose any functionality. Other than that, that's really about it. It's the right way to do things if you're setting up a gooseneck or fifth wheel hitch in your truck. Just kind of taking that extra step and ensuring everything's going to be easy to use and work as it should, things like that. As far as the installation goes, really straightforward. We did ours before we put our fifth wheel hitch in just because it's wide open, a little bit easier. More or less, you drill a hole inside of your bed, bolt this up, wiring drops down, just tees right into, directly plugs into the back of your factory 7-way, and that's all there is to it. So it really shouldn't give you too many issues, but if you're going to be setting this up yourself, feel free to hang around. We'll go ahead and get started on it now. To begin our installation, we're going to be here in the bed of the truck, and we're going to be working on the driver's side. Very first thing that we need to do is figure out where we want to mount up our 7-way connector. So I chose a spot right here. This is generally where you see the majority of them, and behind here too, it's wide open. We don't have any major wiring harnesses or anything like that we need to worry about. Grab a 2 1/8 hole saw here. Not a bad idea if you want. Come back with a file or a piece of sandpaper or something. Just kind of knock down the rough edges. And then what we can do is start to get our harness all set up. You can grab your T-connector now. You want the side that has the 2 ends on it. And we're going to feed this through the hole to the bottom side of the truck. A lot of times it'll be tight. You just kind of have to figure out which way it wants to go in there. Feed that all the way down. We'll leave about a foot or so up top to work with here. Something that I like to do is take dielectric grease and on the connector ends, just apply some to it. This will just help with corrosion and things like that. And then your connector plug, your 7-way, will snap right into it. When we go to mount this, what we'll do is hold it how we want it here. Try to get it level. It looks good. So I think about like that. Looks pretty good. I'm just going to take a marker and mark the holes. That way we know where we need to drill. Get this out of our way. We're going to come back for each one of those holes and drill out a 3/8 opening. I'm going to do that same thing for these 3 remaining marks here. For each one of those holes, you're going to have these little rubber inserts. So you put them in place. This will just get lined up with them. You can take the included screws and get them started. When you're snugging these down, you don't have to get too carried away. I kind of just like to work each corner in an X to help kind of draw everything in together evenly, because sometimes, you know, when you're drilling these holes, it'll shift on you a little bit or won't be perfectly in line there. So doing it this way helps everything go together a little bit easier. Underneath the truck, I just loosely routed it over to our factory 7-way plug. And once I have this plugged in, we'll come back and zip tie everything up nice. Definitely helps too if your spare tire is lowered. We have ours lowered because we're getting ready to do the hitch too. Figured we just knock the wiring out first, but under your factory 7-way, that's what it's going to look like. You want to disconnect it so you can pull that gray tab back. You don't have to pull it all the way out. You can leave it like that if you want, and then push down on the center. And I'm going to put a little extra dielectric grease here on our factory connector and some on our new harness. One end of our new harness, we'll just plug right into the back of the 7-way, and the other parts, we'll plug those together. It is a good idea to test your wiring to make sure that it's working properly. And we'll run through our basic functions with these late model Fords. They realize that there isn't actually a trailer hooked up. We're just using a test box here. And so they put out 12-volt power is needed. And so keep that in mind. It's hard to simulate and test that, but we'll try our left turn, our right turn. We'll hit our brakes. We'll try out our tail lights. And we'll go ahead and hit the manual override on our brake controller. And we see that's putting out power as well. And with everything working, that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the Curt in-bed wiring harness on our 2024 Ford F-350.